Okay, so in this video I will show you how I make this scene with the help of Blender. So I will just show you what I did for this shot and what type of stuff I did to make this thing look like that. So if I show you the default render that I got from Blender, it will look something like this. Okay, yeah, this is the raw render. So you can see there, this is kind of completely black if I increase the intensity. So I just put a HDRI there, just try to get this type of edge light, and that's it. And the model, you can find some online models also. And if you want to know how I make this thing, you can check out the live streams on the membership section. So yeah, after this is the raw render from the Blender. Basically, I render all the passes. You don't have to do this. It's not, I would say, necessary. But in production or in real life, when you do any kind of job, then you have to do this, because in production also, you will get all this type of passes and you have to combine them and you have to do all this thing. So it's better you learn now. So if you want to learn this, I already made a video on the thing also. You can watch this video. So yeah, so in this one I just split up everything, the diffuse, color, indirect, and everything. Then I individually control all the parameters. So for example, by default the pant was something like this. The color of the pant is kind of this. If I just enable the pants option, now this thing looks very good because of the color and everything. Before it was too saturated like this, it was not looking good. So yeah, basically that's the advantage of having this type of diffuse, color, indirect, and all those fastest things. Then I just did some skin correction. You can see I'm adding more details in the skins, in the whole body. Similarly with the gloves also, you can see there the gloves are kind of very white. I just reduced the intensity of that. I think I just messed up something. Yeah, it was off. Okay, so then we have the veins one. I just pop out some veins. So the trick of this thing is I'm using a EXR file. If you see this shuffle note, I don't know why this is not visible. Yeah, so you can see there I'm using the alpha channels. When you do the texturing in your Blender thing, you can just render your viewport. You just have to click on the viewport render option. If I just show you my viewport thing, oh, this is, so if you just go and click on this one, view option, and if you click on the viewport render animation, it will just render the that thing, and you just have to render this thing with your black and white texture, and then you can use this thing as a mask in your main render. So if I just enable and disable this, you can see we have the veins. So yeah, similarly I did everything. I did some relighting. You can see we have this type of relight thing, just to pop out the edges more. And then similarly I did all the changes for the body. So if I disable everything, you can see this is looking something like that. So I'm just trying to add more and more detail so that it can define the edges, the muscles, and everything. Then we have the teeth. This one is the teeth one. Before it was too bright. I just did some minor adjustment. It was not that much. Then we have this aura light interaction. So by default, I was not doing the aura thing in Blender. I was using some other software. So because of that, I have to render that thing separately from that software. So this is the render that I got from that thing. Not actually this one. It was, I think this one. So this is the raw render that I got from that Houdini software. And then I convert this thing to this look with the grade node and those type of things. And then I'm merging this thing on top of the main pass. If I enable this, you can see we are having that light interaction. Because if I just put the stuff directly into this one, then it will not gonna look great, because in real life you will have this type of interaction if there is some sort of aura or any kind of light source. So yeah, after that I just merged this thing to my background. This is my sky texture. You can download anything. I'm just using this sky. Then I'm just doing some grading thing. And then I'm just merging this thing on top of this one. Okay, so after that we have to add the hairs. Right now you can see we have this hair shadow layer. So I render the hair separately because of render issues. If I show you my hairs, where are the hairs? I don't know. Okay, so this is the hair. You can see there. So due to some render issues, I just render the hair separately. This one is the shadow layer, so you can see there, and this one is the main hair layer on top of everything. So basically I did the kind of same thing, shuffle out the passes separately so that I can control the parameters properly. This is the render that I got from Blender, and after did color correction and everything, it was something like this. So because my background was kind of very bluish color, that's why I have to convert this thing to more bluish tint so that it can match with the background properly. So I did another trick here. If I disable this thing, you will see that the density of the hairs are kind of increasing. The thing that I did is I just copy the same thing and I just transform that stuff smaller so that I can increase the density of the hair. So if I just disable this transform node, you will see that the scale of the hairs are kind of shrinking, because if the hairs are in the same size, then it will not gonna give that illusion of dense hair. So we have to do this transform thing in order to make this thing denser. You can see there, and the without transform one was also looking very weird in the edges. So we have to do this transform so that we are getting this extra hairs you can see there in the edges. So basically that's the hair one. Then we have to add the effects, the particle effects that I render from Houdini. So if I just enable this, you can see this is the Houdini particles, and on top of that thing we have that same particle aura effect. This is actually a smoke simulation. You can see the difference. After everything, I add the hairs on top of everything, and right now you can see the hairs are looking very kind of blackish in color. This is not matching with the character also, so we have to fix that issue. So now I just add more layer of fog, not fog, but the particle effects and everything on top of the hair also, so that I can get this type of things. Then there is nothing. I just add some lens distortion and some lens flare effects. You can see, I think it is visible. I don't know. This is very subtle. This is not too much lens flare effects. And then we have the final Nuke comp render. This is the final version of the Nuke, and after this I export everything in DaVinci Resolve. I did some color grading, and after everything I got this one. So this is the final result. So yeah, I think this will help you. Thanks for watching.